Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know, guys. If there is any issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Everything is proper. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, so up till yesterday's class, we have understood a little bit about containers. We have understood about Docker, and from today onwards, we'll be starting our practical implementation on Docker as well. We'll try to learn everything step by step, and I will introduce you guys to a new format of learning wherein you learn from the documentation itself. Most of the good technologies that are out there have great documentations that you can leverage to learn from, and that is what we are going to explore in our today's class as well, guys. A little bit about it so that you guys can also follow in the exact same footpath later on when you are studying on your own as well. So we'll see how to leverage documentations to understand certain topics very well. Okay, that would be one of our aim in today's class, guys. Can somebody tell me what's the difference between container and Docker? Can somebody let me know what is the difference between container and Docker, guys? Anybody? We have already discussed this in our yesterday's class, right? So, can somebody let me know what is the difference between a container and a Docker? Docker is the company while the container is the technology. Great, awesome. That's absolutely good, Bindu. That's really great. So Docker does not make containers. Docker is not related to containers. Don't try to merge the two words up. Okay, Docker is a company and container is the technology itself. We are learning about containerization by using the company that is Docker. For example, you are running an OS operating system, but the company providing you that operating system is Windows, or the company is providing you the operating system, let's assume, is Apple. Okay, so that is how it basically works. So here, Windows or your Microsoft is the company, but the OS, that is the underlying technology operating system. Okay, that is how you need to slowly and steadily understand the concepts itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Mod Zahir, that's absolutely great advice itself, I guess. Even I was also thinking about the exact same thing. I wanted to, like, especially for the DevTown certificate, I wanted to do something new for them. So actually, I was planning to do that from this particular bootcamp. Do let me know. I've added some more design factors into the certifications this time. Let me know if that is good or not. So the entire certificate will be a Docker themed certificate itself. Docker and Git theme certificates. I think so. You guys will be able to enjoy that. That's actually a very good advice, Mod Zahid. Okay, so let's start with our today's class, shall we? Shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, awesome. So, first of all, there are three concepts in Docker that we are going to learn. Okay, Docker is basically made up of three concepts. One is called as images. Okay, the other one is called as containers. And the third one is called as volume. Okay, today we are going to learn a little bit about images and containers because it's a very vast topic, guys. So, of course, in one day I will not be able to cover it. But slowly and steadily, we'll dive a little bit deeper into each and every topic itself. Today we'll try to understand about images and containers. Volume is something that we'll be understanding in the next few classes. Okay, but please do listen to this. Please do understand this as well. That there are three major components to Docker. Okay, Docker images, Docker containers, and then your Docker volume. And we will try to understand all these three different things itself, guys. Now let's get started with our today's class. Let me share my screen, otherwise I will just forget to do that once again. So let me share my screen from right over here. In the previous boot camps, it has been my habit that I just start teaching without sharing my screens. I'm being pretty careful right over here with regards to the same. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're just going to open up Google and we'll search for Docker. Okay, we'll search for Docker docs. Okay, like I said, every single good technology will have its own documentation. Docker has its own documentation, as you're able to see the Docker docs right over here. Okay, I hope so that you guys are able to see it from right over here. Now, if you are working on your local laptop, if you want to use Docker on your local laptop, you will have to install the Docker desktop that is there. Okay, that will basically help you set up the entire Docker working environment workstation inside of your computer. You can set up Docker desktop for Mac, Docker desktop for Windows, Docker desktop for Linux. For our intents purposes, we are not going to set it up on our local computer because, like I said again, not everybody has a computer. We need to make sure of that everybody is able to learn. But nevertheless, if you are working on a local computer itself, just by installing one of these, depending upon what OS you are having, you can get started with Docker desktop itself. For our purpose, we are going to explore a new website. Up to this point of time, I think so. You guys remember we were using Repellent. Okay, we were using Repellent up till this point of time, right? You guys remember Repellent, guys? Guys, the whatever I am able to see on my screen, that is what I have seen up to this, that is what I am seeing. Whatever you are seeing on my screen, that is what I am seeing. Up to this point of time, I was not able to see the chat option itself. Right now, I've just opened it up. So Vardhini, you will have to put your query once again. Okay. So, like I said, guys, you guys remember Repellent, right? We were using Repellent up to this point of time. Now, for now, we will be using another similar website called as Code Sandbox, guys. Okay, Code Sandbox. This is the website that we are going to use for now onwards. It is very similar to very similar to Repellent, but for our intents and purposes, we are going to use Code Sandbox right now because Repellent does not offer like playing around with Docker anymore. So this is a good like alternative for the same. So yes, just open up Code Sandbox. It's again a free platform. You don't have to pay anything. Even I am using the free version of that. How can I show it to you guys? So as you're able to see, start trial. So even I am not using the pro version. I'm also on the free version with you guys. Once you log into the platform, just click on create a dev box. Okay, just click on create a dev box, guys. Once you open that up, you can just get Docker from right over there. If you're not able to find Docker, just search for Docker. 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 You just search for Docker. Click on that. It will spin a particular sandbox for you, inside of which you can then start practicing Docker as you like. Okay, so that is what is happening right now. It is creating a particular environment for me where I can start working on Docker immediately itself. Okay, now let's go into the terminal. Let's go into the terminal itself, guys. And I didn't attended days because of internet issues. Please consider my attendance. Vardhini, for 1 or 2 days of attendance missed, we still consider that. Anything more than that, we will not be able to consider. I have made that pretty clear in the past 3 days as well. 1 to 2 days of attendance that has been missed, we consider that. But if there is like more than that, we will not be able to issue certificates. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to go into Google. I'm just going to go into my terminal. Okay, so this is what has been opened up for me, guys. I'll just close this up and I will open this up to full screen so that I'm able to see everything properly. Inside of here, I'll just open up the terminal, new terminal right over here, guys. Inside of the terminal, I'm just going to write Docker hyphen V. Okay, Docker hyphen V. So right over here, as you're able to see, currently the Docker version of 23.0.1 has been installed. That means Docker is present right over here. I can start working upon Docker from right over here itself, guys. Now, if I go into your Docker documentation itself, let us go back to the Docker documentation. Let us go to the main page. Let's try to find the documentation for the same itself. Okay, learn how to set up your environment, browse the CLI. So we'll go to references. We'll go to reference from right over here. From reference, we will be able to see this API reference on the left hand side. We are just going to open up API reference right over here. You're having your Docker engine API and API references by version, all these kind of crap that is there. we need to find for our purposes. Where can we do that? Command line interface, Docker CLI. Okay, yeah. So this is where I'm able to find it. So right over here, inside of, again, I'll show it to you guys. Inside of Docker Docs, that is the official website of Docker. We are going to go into references. Inside of references, we are going to go into command line reference. This is basically a guide for everything that you can do with Docker in the command line. We are using the terminal that is called as the command line right over there, guys. So command line references, Docker CLI. So that is what we are currently doing. And these are all the different things that you can do with Docker right over here, guys. All the different things that you can do right over here with Docker. Now, for example, if I go back, right now we use the hyphen V, right? Right now we use Docker hyphen V right over there. Similar to that, there is another command, Docker hyphen version. Docker hyphen version. It also does the exact same thing, guys. It gives us the current version of Docker that is running. What about Docker hyphen V? Okay, what about Docker hyphen V? As you're able to see, it is giving us an error that this command does not work. These are all the different commands that you can use with Docker. Okay, it is basically saying that unknown flag hyphen V does not exist. These are all the different commands that you can use with Docker. So Docker run, ps, build, pull, push, images, login, logout, search, version, info, builder, compose, container, context, image, and so on and so forth. Swarm, attach, commit, export, and blah 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 blah. All these different things. If you scroll a little bit down below, you will be able to find hyphen V or hyphen version. This is what we have been using to see the Docker version right over there. And as you're able to see, it prints the version information and quits. Let us go into the documentation. Let's find a little bit more information about that. Okay, Docker version, as you're able to see right over here. Okay, the exact same way that I've shown it to you guys. I'm able to find Docker version. If I go into that, okay, Docker version right over here, it has been provided to me. All the information about that particular command is provided to you guys right over here. All the information is provided to you guys right over here inside of this particular documentation itself. So up to this point of time, what we have seen is that, okay, if I use Docker hyphen version or Docker hyphen V, I'm able to see the current, that what is the current version of Docker that I'm currently using. But there is so much more behind that, guys. There is so much more behind that, and you can actually go through the entire thing and learn a lot of different things from right over here. For example, if I don't want, so when I'm currently writing hyphen V or hyphen version right over there, I'm getting this entire gibberish as the Docker version, blah 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 blah, build blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. I don't want to see all that crap. I just want to see what is the current version. I just want to see 23.0.1. So you can actually format this entry that is coming to you guys. So as you're able to go back to Docker docs, and as you're able to see Docker version hyphen format, client API version using this particular command. I'll just copy it from right over here, guys. I'll just copy it from right over here. I'll go back. I'll paste it inside of my command line itself, guys. I'll paste it inside of the command line and press enter. As you're able to see, we are currently getting the version inside of the client API version as 1.4.2. So that is the client API version, not the Docker version. Okay, but we are still getting it. Okay, so that is the beauty of using the documentation itself. Using the documentation, you are able to learn a lot more than usual. You are able to dive deeper into certain topics, learn a little bit more about a certain topic itself. Now, for example, your container, we have talked about containers inside of like and general as well, right? And containers will contain everything that a particular app requires to live, for a particular app to work properly itself. Now, how is that the case that every time I want to create a container, it is I'm getting the same container again and again with the same things again and again. For example, if I want to cook Maggie, if I want to cook Maggie, how is it possible that everyone throughout the entire globe is getting the exact same Maggie? Can somebody let me know? Think about it in such a way that if I want to cook Maggie, how is it possible that every single being on this planet Earth is able to cook the exact same Maggie? Why? Because all its ingredients, all its things is already pre-bundled for you and given to you. Now your job is to cook it. Your job is to cook it. Think about images as blueprints of containers. It basically tells how to create a container itself. That's what a image is. So the concept of images is very simple. It is not a container. It is nothing. It is just a blueprint. It is just the exact things that the computer needs to do or the Docker needs to do to spin up a container, to build a container itself. It is the roadmap of doing that. Okay. Now, again, like I said, there are multiple different containers that can be spun up. Okay. So every container has its very own image. Now, for some very popular programming languages, for very popular application itself, there are famous images that already exist. And Docker maintains these images, these blueprints for us. Think about it as a huge library with just blueprints of every fucking car that is existing in the entire world. I want a Ferrari, I can just take out the blueprint of a Ferrari, give it to Docker, and it will build an entire Ferrari for me. The same Ferrari every single time. I want a Shelby Cobra. I will pick up the blueprint of Shelby Cobra. I will give it to Docker. It will build a particular Shelby Cobra for me immediately itself. Let's explore that. So Docker, for this library, it calls it as Docker Hub. Okay. So Docker Docker HUB Hub, guys. So you can log into the platform using Google. I have also logged into the platform using Google itself. Let us go to explore. So this is Docker Hub, guys. We'll go to explore from right over here. This is where you will be able to see all the different images that are there. So Alpine, Nginx, BusyBox. BusyBox has more than 1 billion plus downloads. You're having Ubuntu, then you're having Python. So you are having an official Docker image, a blueprint for your apps that require Python to run. It already has a particular image for that with more than 1 billion plus downloads. And do not worry about it, guys. These are some of the images that are already pre-built for you. But we are also going to learn how to create our very own images as well. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, slowly and steadily, not on the very first day, but slowly and steadily. Right now, we'll be using this to understand concepts. Later on, once we have understood it, we will also be learning how to build our very own images as well, our very own blueprints as well. So you don't have to worry about that, guys. Redis is there, Postgres is there, and Node is there. So if you are building up a backend using Node, it is also available right over there. MongoDB, MySQL, RabbitMQ, Docker has its own Docker. So you can run a Docker environment inside of a Docker environment as well. So that's very fucked up, but yeah, that also exists right over there. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is that we are going to go into Postgres. Okay, we'll go into Postgres. Now, again, like I said, this exists online. Okay, please try to understand this, guys. This exists online. This exists on a website called as Docker Hub. Okay, right now we are working inside of this. We are working inside of this, guys. Okay, this is where we are actually working right now. Now, Postgres is saying that you can get Postgres by writing Docker pull Postgres. That will get you the image for Postgres, guys. Now, there are multiple versions of Postgres that exist. So if you go into tags, these are all the different versions of particular Postgres that exist, because Postgres will also have various versions, right? There will be there will be the latest version of Postgres, then there will be 10 years ago version of Postgres. So multiple different applications require multiple versions as well. So you can actually browse through them. It will give you some of the examples. For example, 16.1 is the latest one. Okay, you're having 15.5, 13.3, 11.22, 11.3.17, and so on and so forth. So you can actually install various different versions of Postgres as well. Now, if you're directly, and of course, you can go through the entire thing, guys. This is also an official documentation for the Postgres image. You can actually go through them, how to start it, how to use it, all that you can do it from right over here, guys. All that you can do it from right over here. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is first we'll start off by getting this Postgres image. We'll copy this particular code, guys. Docker pull Postgres. Please do remember, if you are making any kind of spelling mistake in the name, if you are using any capital or small letters, you might end up with a different image. Okay, make sure you are using the exact same spelling. Do not make spelling mistakes. I've seen people making so many mistakes with the spellings and then saying to me that, sir, the code is not working. Please make sure that this is not happening at any particular point of time, guys. Okay, so let us go back to our particular command line. We'll paste our code right over here. Docker pull Postgres. Now, this will install by default the latest version of Postgres that exists. By default, because we haven't specified which version of Postgres do we need, it will by default install for us the latest version of Postgres that exists right over there. Are you guys able to get this? Please let me know. Because we are not specifying which version of Postgres do we need, it is going to by default install the latest version of Postgres that exists right over there, guys. So let us do that. Let us press enter right over here, guys, using default tag latest, as you're able to see, because we haven't put up any tags, we haven't put up what version do we need. It is installing the latest version itself. And as you're able to see, it is not installing just one particular image. It is actually installing, so each of these are actually different images, guys. Each of these are actually different images that it is installing right over there. So please try to understand this. Although we want to install just the Postgres image, Postgres cannot function on its own. Postgres as a software cannot function on its own. We also require a lot of different things for it to function properly. So a Postgres image is actually a layering of multiple different Docker images as well. Are you going to be able to get this? For example, it will require its own OS. So let's assume that we have an Alpine version of OS that is being installed right over there. Maybe it requires some format of a web application as well, web interface as well. So RabbitMQ or maybe Postman is also getting installed. A particular version of Postman is also getting installed right over there. So when you are installing a particular image, it is not compulsory that it is one single image itself. It is actually a layering of multiple images. Whatever it requires, just that what it requires is being layered right over there. Nothing else. Nothing else. What Postgres requires to work properly, only that will be layered right over there for you. Are you guys able to get this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to get this, guys? Please let me know. This layering of images, are you guys able to get this? Please do let me know. This is very important for you guys. That is the reason why I'm telling you guys about it. If you are not able to get it, please do let me know what you are not able to get so that I'm able to explain it to you guys. Please do let me know what you are not able to get. And if you have not attended previous classes, don't let me know anything. Okay, then you have just missed out on the classes. That is not my fault. But if you're not able to understand something, please do let me know, guys. I will help you guys out with that. Do explain to me what you're not able to understand. This layering. Okay. So, for example, you want a particular image of Deadpool. Okay. I want a particular image of Deadpool. Okay. Now, Deadpool is not going to come alone, right? It is going to come up with its costume. So, I will require an image of its costume as well. He will come up with his katanas. So, I will require a particular image for its katanas. It will come up with his friend. Let's assume we are having Naruto. Naruto is Deadpool's friend. Naruto, like Deadpool does not go anywhere except Naruto. So, we'll require a particular image for Naruto as well. The Naruto does not go anywhere without his kunai knives. So he will require that as well. So all these images are laid up to help us get a Deadpool image inside of which Deadpool is able to survive and work well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. See, my voice is clear. See, I don't look that good that you guys need to see me all the time. Okay. The main important point is that my voice should be clear for you. You should be able to understand what I'm saying. I don't look that good that you need to actually watch me, right? That is very clear. Even my dog does not like me most of the time. So, yeah. And she's a golden retriever. So, you should be able to understand that. So, your job is to just, even if the video is lagging a little bit, focus upon your voice, focus upon what I'm teaching. You should be able to understand it. Okay. So, the next particular thing that we'll be doing is we'll run the exact same code once again. Docker pull Postgres. Okay. Docker pull Postgres. Again, we are running the exact same command. As you're able to see, it did not install all those things once again. Why? Because all these things, all these images were pulled from the online Docker hub. They were actually pulled from the online Docker hub, guys. Now it is available locally. Once it is locally available, we don't need to reinstall it. It is already available right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? In the first particular instance, we had to get all these images from the Docker Hub, from a particular website. That is the reason why it took us so much time to get it. But now that it has been installed, it is available for us in the backend. We don't have to visit Docker Hub again and again. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know what is digest. Where is the digest? Oh, this is the ID. Think about it as the ID for that image locally. Okay, what is the ID of that image locally itself? That is what it is saying right over there. Okay. Now you can actually go to the Docker documentation itself. You can find Docker pull. So we use Docker pull right now, right? You can go through Docker pull. You can learn a little bit more about them. Okay, how to add tags and everything. If you want to add tags at any particular point of time, we will be seeing how to add that as well. Go through the documentation, guys. Whatever different like commands that we are using today, I am expecting that after today's class you guys will be going through all the commands in the Docker documentation itself. Can I expect that from you guys? Can I expect that from you guys? Will you guys go through the entire? So, for example, we use Docker pull, we use Docker version, we used anything else? Did we use up to this point of time? No, we'll be using a little bit more. So, go through the documentation, guys. Learn about them a little bit. Even if you're not able to understand something, go through the documentation once. It will expand your horizon. It will help you identify more things. It will help you make learn more things as well, guys. Please focus upon that, guys. I know that many of you guys are not interested. Many of you guys don't take this seriously. But please do remember, coding is not something that you can learn from just attending a class. Okay, if you think that, oh, by attending a course or by doing a course or by sitting in a class, I will be able to learn it. I'm really saddened by the fact to let you guys know that this you are living in a particular, I don't know what, in a bubble or some shit. Okay, this is not Barbie movie. Okay, that is not going to work for you guys. You have to practice everything. You have to explore everything. You have to do everything on your own. A class or a particular course is just going to get you a roadmap. That's it. It's going to make sure that you're not falling off the track. That's all that it can do. It can provide you with the resources to learn from. But everything you will have to do it on your own. So today I'm taking up the attendance a little bit early. The class is going to continue. Okay, we are going to continue with our class, guys. The class is not ending. I can take up two attendance today. Okay, maybe at the end I'll take up one more attendance. So if you are missing out on either one of the attendance, either one you are missing out, zero attendance for today for you. So if I take up two attendances today, if you miss out on this first attendance or the second attendance, zero attendance for you right over there. So again, the class is going to continue. We are not skipping on the class, guys. Right now, I'm giving you guys the attendance link. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:48. Okay, the attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:48, guys. Again, like I said, the class is going to continue. We are not closing the class. I'm just saying up the attendance in the middle of the class itself for those people who don't come up live to the class. Okay. So, like I said, guys, please do fill up your attendance right now at exactly 8:48. The attendance link will be closed. At exactly 8:48, the attendance link will be closed. So due to artificial intelligence, programmers are going to be replaced. Yes, only programmers like you are going to be replaced. Nobody else. Everybody who is actually learning programming, who's actually building projects, who are actually getting a job, they are not going to be replaced. But people like you who don't know what is AI and why, why who spend a lot of more time on Instagram and YouTube watching shorts and reels, they are the only ones who are going to get replaced. Okay, if you thought, and people who think that, okay, by learning a programming language I'm going to get a job, before AI as well they were not getting jobs. Right now as well they are not going to get any jobs. AI is only going to be there as a helping hand to help you optimize your work, make sure that the mundane work is able to get completed properly itself. It is not going to be replacing any programmers at any particular point of time. It is just impossible for an AI to replace a programmer. Because we don't create tic-tac-toe right over there. We don't create a playing game right over there. We create fucking Amazon, that entire website. Okay, AWS as an entire website. That particular AI can never create at any particular point of time. Okay, Next 3 minutes, the attendance link will be closed, guys. Just reminding it to you guys right over there. And then we'll continue with the class. The class is not over. We still have a lot to learn. Okay, we have only, I think so for today's class, what I planned, I think so I have only covered 30% or 40% of that. Still, a lot is remaining for today's class. Okay. Because, see, these topics are really like, important. Okay, Git, GitHub, version control, Docker images, Docker containers, Docker volume. All these are very important topics when it comes to projects. Best language for data structures and algorithms: C++ or Java. One of them is the best language. Even I did my data structure algorithms in C++. So yeah. What is images in Docker? So think about images as blueprints for containers. Containers are working things. Now, every time you want the container to be made in the exact same fashion, it shouldn't be like if one time the container is being made with Python, the other time the container is being made without Python. That shouldn't be the case. So a particular image is like the blueprint of exactly how you are going to create the entire container itself. In yesterday's class, due to some network issues, my attendance was submitted late. I am requesting check my attendance as the view time also. Tharun, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that free as well. But yes, like I've already told, 1 to 2 days of attendance missing, we'll still consider it. So you don't have to worry about it. What time did I say that this is going to close? I'm talking about artificial general intelligence, so that is going to be made after we die, and even that is being made, that is still not being able to code everything properly. Okay, that is still not going to happen because inside of a particular application, you have to create, for example, web development. It just can't create that. It just can't. Now, if you think that creating a front end of a website like a shitting landing page is what a front end developer does or a particular full stack developer does, then you are absolutely wrong. You should dive a little bit deeper into those topics and learn about them. AI cannot create a Zomato at any particular point of time. AI cannot create Swiggy. AI cannot create Netflix. What it can do at most is help a developer create that faster. That's it. Okay. Uh, just send a particular query on support at devtown.in. Okay. Bhanuka. Send a particular query on support at devtown.in right over there. What is generative AI? So generative AI started with GANs. Okay. So the concept between generative AI is very simple. What it does is that it has learned over a lot of different data sets. Okay, on how to create. Think about it as chore police. Okay, think about it as a chore police. Okay, a thief and a cop. The aim of that thief is to create false bills. Okay, the aim of the thief is to create false bills, guys. Okay, bills basically means currency, false currency. And the aim of the cop is to catch the thief. Okay, now what will the thief do? It will create one particular fake copy of a currency. Then he will try to show it to the cop. The cop will say that fuck, this is very bad. Okay, I am immediately able to see Gandhiji looks like a monkey right over here. This is absolutely a wrong currency note. So it will again go back. It will again try to generate a new particular like currency note. Okay, the thief will try to create a new currency note. Again, it will take that to the police. Again, that police will catch him. Slowly and steadily, this will continuously happen up till the point wherein the thief is able to generate a particular currency that is so accurate that the police is not able to tell the difference between a real and a fake currency note. That is the basic concept behind generative AI. Inside of it, there are two particular AI models that are there. One is the thief, that is the one that is basically concerned with just generating a particular output. Okay, and there is a particular police AI model that basically needs to identify the difference between a real and a fake like input that is coming to it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Is Sandbox a metaverse to creating? No, 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 not at all. Dude, not at all. Do not get into this metaverse shit or all. If you want to get into it, if your father is Ambani or Gambani, then definitely I will suggest get into metaverse. If your father does not has a lot of money, you are a college student, you are looking for a job in India right now, do not waste your time learning about metaverse or something like that. Okay, it is still going to take up 15 years for it to be actually established. And whether it is going to be established or not, nobody knows properly right now. So do not waste your time and efforts learning something in which you are going to remain jobless for the rest of your life. Okay, again, then you will be wasting your parents' money to go for masters or go for MBA. Rather than that, learn things properly, get a good software engineering job, good pay. Okay, and then if you want to learn about metaverse, then continue learning about metaverse from right over there. Okay, if your father has a lot of money, then invest it in startups with metaverse. But wait patiently until unless the response for the Apple Vision Pro is accumulated properly. So it all depends upon the Apple's Vision Pro. If people actually consider Vision Pro as something that they're going to buy and something that they're going to use, then maybe metaverse has a particular future. Then your father can really invest into startups that are working on metaverse. You don't have to learn about metaverse then. That will be my suggestion. Okay. Yeah, you can take that suggestion up for me. Okay. Okay. Let's continue with our code, guys. Let's continue with our code. Right over here, we have learned about Docker pull Postgres. Right. That is the last thing that we did. Right. Everybody is able to understand everything up to this point of time. Please let me know. Everybody is able to understand everything up to this point of time, guys. Please let me know. Okay, so now we'll go back to our Docker documentation itself and we'll find a particular documentation for our images. Okay, Docker image right over here. This is a Docker image, and then you're having this Docker image ls, guys. Okay, we'll just go into that. As you're able to see right over here, guys, this Docker image ls. Okay, you can just go through the entire documentation, you can see what it does and everything. Basically, it will show you all the different images that you are having inside of your if you inside of your Docker desktop right now. We go back and we write Docker again. Please make sure there are two things. Docker image is one and Docker images is second. Okay. Do not make spelling mistakes like that. It is Docker image, not Docker images right over there. Please make sure that you guys are able to understand that, guys. I will go back and we'll write Docker image, 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 ls will show us all the images that we are having inside of our particular computer itself. So all these are default images right over here. These are not ours. These are something that has been installed by Code Sandbox for us. Also that this is the width of it. So we are only considering ourselves with the first particular image. This is what we have installed. As you're able to see right over here, we have just installed the Postgres image and the size of that image is 425 MB. That is the size of the image. This is the particular tag that is given to that image. That is like how we can identify that image easily right over there. Okay, so that is also given right over there, guys. So this is some of the information about that image that we have just installed right now itself, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to see this, guys? Please let me know. Now, using this particular image, like I said, this is a blueprint, guys. This is a blueprint of the Postgres image. To actually get a container out of it, we have to run this particular image, guys. Please try to understand this. This is just an image. This basically tells how the container will be made. But if we want to make a container out of it, we will have to use Docker run command, guys. Docker run command. Now, usually in any other scenario, in any other like using any images or something like that, if I would have written Docker, okay, and then I'm going to write Docker, and then I'm going to run Postgres, it would have worked. Okay. In any other particular image, maybe the Alpine image or the Ubuntu image, this would have worked flawlessly for us. But as you're able to see, this is going to not run for us right now. Okay, as you're able to see, it is getting us an error. Blah blah blah. All these different things are getting to shown us. This is the reason why I always say, look at not me. Okay, that is basically the real. Look at the documentation, guys. Always before doing something, look at the documentation. Let us go back to Docker Hub. That is where the Postgres documentation is there. If you scroll down below, you will be able to find that how to start a Postgres instance. how to start a Postgres instance. And it's showing you all the different things that you have to specify. So not just that Docker run. Just by writing Docker run, this is not going to work for us, guys. Just by using Docker run, it is not going to work. We have to provide it with some other things as well. For example, hyphen hyphen name. So what is the name of this particular container that you're trying to create? That is what it is asking. Okay, you can give it a name like Naruto. Okay, you can give it a name like Naruto, that this particular container that I'm creating using the Postgres image. This particular container that we are creating using the Postgres image, we can call it as Naruto itself. Okay, then you're having that is the name, some Postgres, that is the name that you want to assign to that container. Then hyphen e, that is the environment variables. Okay, this particular Postgres requires, so usually when you are setting up a database, it requires some kind of password as well to be able to access that database, an admin password right over there. So this is an environment variable that you want to provide. The environment variable is basically the Postgres password. You can provide your secret password right over there. Then hyphen D Postgres. Now, what is this hyphen D? This is basically called as the detached mode. It's called as the detached mode right over there. But we'll try to understand about that later on, guys. We'll see what happens if we don't use this name, if we don't use this, and if we don't use hyphen D. We are going to remove both these things and we are going to run this once again. Okay, so Control C. We'll go back. We'll clear everything up so that it looks a little bit more okay-ish. We'll paste it right over here. We'll remove some of the things, guys. For example, hyphen D will remove it. We'll see what happens. We'll remove some hyphen hyphen name, some Postgres. We'll remove that as well. So this is the command that we are going to run right now. Docker run Postgres password is equals to my secret password Postgres. So basically, this is the name of the image that you want to run. Okay, this is the image that I want to convert into a container itself. This is the environment variable that I want to specify right over there. I want to run this. As soon as I press enter, something is happening. Okay, something is happening right over here, guys. Blah blah blah. All these different things are happening. But as you're able to see, my particular terminal has got frozen. I can't do ls right over here. I can't do ls or something. If I try to do ls or something, nothing is working right over there. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to see that my terminal is not working anymore? If I'm trying to do mkdir, it is not working anymore, guys. My terminal is hanged. Why is that the case? Because we have not used hyphen d or the detached mode, guys. The detached mode, what it does is very simply, it will make the Docker container run separately. It will not run it on your terminal. Your terminal will be free. It will detach that particular container to be working on a separate terminal so that your terminal is free. And in the background, the particular Docker is continuously running. Your container is continuously running in the background. Okay, it's able to understand this. Without using hyphen D, if you're trying to run it, the Docker container runs on this particular terminal itself, and we are not able to use this terminal anymore. Using extremely sorry, guys. Using hyphen D, we are detaching the particular like container into a separate terminal itself, guys. Okay, so if we close this up, Control C, by using Control C, as you're able to see, if I try to exit the particular container, it is showing database system is now shut down. Okay, database system is now shut down completely. Let us rerun that with hyphen D right over here, guys. So now our particular container is right now running. Our container is right now running. This is how you are able to identify that container. This is the hash code that identifies that container right over there, guys. And we have not given it any name or something. Just like we can see for all the images that are there. Okay, do you guys remember the command to see all the images that are there inside of Docker desktop? Can somebody let me know? What is the command to see the images that are there inside of Docker desktop, guys? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know what is the command to see the Docker images that are there, guys? Docker image ls. Very good. Docker image ls, guys. That will list down all the different images that we have. In a similar manner, if I want to see all the different containers that we have, it's a very simple command, guys. Docker. That was a very bad spelling of Docker. PS. Okay, Docker PS will show you all the different containers that are currently running inside. So a container can only exist if it is running. Please try to understand that as well. A container can only exist if it is running. Otherwise, it's just an image, right? So right over here, if I see Docker PS, I'll have to make it a little bit smaller so that we are able to see everything in one line. That is a very big problem with using this right over here. Maybe increase it a little bit more. This I don't think so. You guys will be able to see. I will have to keep it a little bit bigger. It's okay. As you're able to see right over here, this is the container ID, the ID that we have seen right over here. This is the complete ID. This is a part of that particular ID. Image, which image did we use? So Postgres image is what we have used right over there. When did we create that image? So about a minute ago. Okay. Status. What is the status? So it is running right now. Posts. Okay, what is the name? So it has given me a random name. So beautiful Corey, because I hadn't specified the name of that container. If you guys remember, I hadn't specified the name of the container, guys. It has given me a random ass name, wonderful Corey or something like that, and so on and so forth. So it has provided me all the details about the container that is currently running for me right now. Okay. In a similar manner, how to stop a container. Okay, right now we know by looking at Docker PS, we know that the container is running. For those who are asking for attendance, may God help you guys out with the same, because I am not going to help you guys out with the same. One thing I'm pretty adamant on is attendance. Attendance is not something that I open once again, close once again, show once again, nothing. Once an attendance has been taken up, the attendance has been taken up. If you have missed out the attendance, like I've already said, 1 or 2 days of attendance that you have missed out, we can still help you guys get the certificates. But if you are missing out more than that, then the certificate is gone. Nevertheless, from tomorrow onwards, come in time on the boot camp, pay attention in the boot camp. That is all that I can say. And if your network is so bad that you are not even able to open up the attendance, then what are you learning inside of the classes? A very good question from my end as well. If you're not even able to open a link inside of the class, how are you able to watch a YouTube video? I think so. You should think about that. Okay. So again, the attendance has been taken up. There's nothing that you guys can do about it right now. Please focus upon the class. Otherwise, for tomorrow as well, you will miss out in the exact same way. Okay. So now that we have understood Docker PS right over there, let's move on to the next particular topic. Okay, how to close the Docker container. Now the container is working. We don't want the container to be working when we are not using it, right? So I want to end that container. Let us go to the Docker particular documentation itself, and let's try to find something on how to close a container. Okay, so Docker build, compose, blah blah blah, dev, okay, expert. Let's see if we are able to find something that Docker kill. Okay, that looks nice. Docker put, pull, push, restart, RM, save, scout, blah 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 blah. Okay, so I was not able to find how to close that Docker container. So in that case, what we can do is we can do a simple Google search, right? If you are not able to understand what is happening inside of the Docker documentation itself, if you're not able to identify what to do next, just do a simple Google search. Docker command CLI end a container. Simple. What was my question? Okay, what was my question? I want to end a container. I want to stop a container. Where do I want to stop the container? How do I want to stop the container? Inside of the command line CLI. That is where I wanted to stop the container. So Docker command line CLI end the container. And I will get my answer. Go through the answer a little bit more, guys. That will be my suggestion. If you once are able to identify that, try to figure out why you were not able to find it inside of the documentation. Now, we were not able to find it because I didn't show it to you guys. It will be somewhere right over here. So Docker stop and go through the entire documentation, learn a little bit more about it. As simple as that. Now let us go back and let us stop this particular Docker container itself. Stopping a Docker container is very simple. You just have to write Docker stop. Now, because I have not given my container any name, if you guys remember, I have not given my container any name right over there. So how to stop it? I can stop it by writing a few letters of the ID of my container. So every container gets assigned a unique ID, guys. Now, although the entire ID is very big, this is the entire ID. We don't have to write the entire ID, guys. Just a few letters from the start, few particular numbers from the start, and will be more than sufficient. Just make sure that two containers don't have the same ID. So as we're able to see, two containers don't have the same ID, so I can definitely use that. So 6492 56, that should be more than sufficient for me. That should be more than sufficient for me. So Docker stop. It will stop this particular container for me. If I do Docker PS, as you're able to see, we are not getting the particular Docker container for the Postgres one. It has stopped it completely. It has stopped it completely, guys. Now the exact same thing, we'll do it by giving it a name as well. So again, we'll go to Docker Hub. We'll just copy this from right over here and we'll paste it inside of our terminal. This time we'll give it our own name, paste, and we'll name it as latest. Okay, Postgres latest, guys. We'll name this as Postgres latest. Always do remember one thing, guys. Don't use spaces when you are naming a particular container. If you want to have two words or multiple words, use a hyphen. Okay, use a dash right over there. That is much more better for us to use. Okay, and we'll press enter, guys. This will create a new particular container for us with the name of Postgres latest. Okay, and we can actually explore that a little bit more. So Docker PS, and as we're able to see, it should show up the name Postgres latest. That is the name of the Postgres container that we have created just right now. Now, how to stop this particular container? Can somebody let me know? What would be the command to stop this particular container, guys? Can somebody let me know? What will be the command to stop this particular container, guys? Can somebody let me know? Mithu, if you don't go to your college daily for like an entire year, will they still give you the degree? A minimum attendance criteria is there for the boot camp as well. You have to maintain that. Docker stop, guys. Docker stop. Great. Docker stop. And instead of using the container ID, because I have given it a name that is Postgres latest, I can stop it by using the Postgres latest name itself, guys. So POSTGRES Postgres LATEST latest. Okay, Docker stop Postgres latest. Directly the name I can apply it right over there and will stop that for me. If I do PS right over here, as you're able to Docker PS, it will show me that it has been closed. It is not in existence right now. Are you guys able to understand everything up till this particular point of time, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand everything up till this particular point of time, guys? Please let me know. So difference between Docker image ls and Docker ps. So Docker image ls basically shows you the list of images that are there. And Docker PS shows you the list of containers that are currently running. Again, the concept of images and containers right over there. Okay. So we will stop the class right now itself, guys, because again, I don't want to overburden you guys with a lot many number of things on the very first day of learning Docker. Try to practice everything that you have learned in today's class. Try to do it on your own. Explore the documentation for all the commands that we have learned. Okay, only then you are going to understand this. The certificate literally has zero value. Zero value. Your knowledge has value. The certificate only has value if you know the topic. If you are showing it to the recruiter that, dude, I've got this certificate on DevOps, Docker, and he's going to first ask you this question: what is the difference between an image and a container? What is Docker Compose? What is Docker Swarm? What is Docker Volume? And you are not able to understand, make him understand that. It basically means either the certificate is fake or you are just full of shit. That is all that it means. You are not going to get selected for any of the interviews, for any of the internships, for any of the examinations itself. For you to be able to do that, you have to know the technology properly. Only then the certificate has value. Okay, don't go around collecting certificates, go around collecting knowledge. That is what is going to help you in the long run. Okay. So now for many of you guys who have come up very late in the class and are expecting the attendance, so the attendance has already been taken up for today's class and you guys have successfully missed it. So mission accomplished, guys. You acted very smart, so I became a little bit smarter than you because I've been taking a boot camp past 3 years, so I'm able to understand what goes on in your head. Secondly, so the attendance is completely gone, guys. For those who have missed it, great work. In tomorrow's class as well, the same thing might happen. Attendance can be taken up anywhere in the middle of the class. So you have to be present throughout the entire class at all times, and even multiple attendances can be there. Okay, tomorrow maybe I will take 2 attendances. That is up to me. Okay, so for those who have missed out on their attendance, good luck. Please make sure you're not missing up attendances in the future. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get your certificates. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class at the same time, and tomorrow onwards we'll start working upon our ports and all this kind of stuff and how to separate ports and everything, log a volume, all that we'll be doing it from our tomorrow's class. Again, for those guys who have missed out on their attendance, one day of missing out on your attendance, we still give you guys the certificates. So if you have missed out on the attendance for the first time today, make sure you are coming to the class from tomorrow onwards on time and fill up your attendance on time itself. So thank you so much, guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's class and continue from right over there. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.